have been on the hot seat, but do you think McCarthy has a point here?
Hell no, I ain't got no point. Skip, you talking about you show up to do your job. It's because you're on the hot seat because you haven't been doing your job very well. It comes with the territory, Mike McCarthy. You're in a high-profile position. You coached the Dallas Cowboys. You made promises and assurance to Jerry Jones because you had won a championship. You say, you're not dealing with Aaron Rodgers. You won 2 MVPs under me. Went to the Super Bowl, yada, yada, yada. You sold that man a bill of goods and ain't been able to deliver. Absolutely, it's fair. Just like they ask players questions. Do you think you're going to be here if things don't turn around? Remember how they was asking Amari? Well, Amari Cooper might be on the trade. Amari might get traded. Amari might get released.
Yep.
That's what comes with the territory if the reporters feel like you're not performing. They ask the questions. I don't think he's going nowhere because Jerry likes having him around. Because guess what? Jerry gets to run the show.
Yep.
Mike McCarthy gets to do absolutely nothing, just have the title and, head coach in title. He doesn't call any offensive plays, doesn't call any defensive plays. He doesn't do anything in free agency. He doesn't do anything in the draft. So he has a very prominent role, title, but what does he actually do? Nothing. It's absolutely fair. What you think? You think you get to get this job, go out in the playoffs like a GOAT, and everything's okay? Nah, it ain't. And they go, guess what? And when you get, they started camp today? Start today.
Yep.
Guess what? They're going to ask you that again today.
They are.
And when you lose,
tomorrow and the next day.
And when you lose your first game of the regular season?
Yep.
Exactly.
I'm going to read this opening statement again. It's irritating that the first question you ask me has nothing to do with how I do my job. Wrong, Mike. It has everything to do with how you haven't done your job.
Exactly.
Everything to do. He goes on to say, my viewpoint is it's not a story. It's a media-driven narrative, or at least a narrative driven outside of my realm. You want it to be outside your realm. It's all about your realm, or lack thereof.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to make the case that Mike McCarthy and Russell Westbrook have one thing and only one thing in common in life. They both, in their jobs, got exposed at the highest level, Russ last year, McCarthy over the last 2 years, because they wound up on stages that were much bigger than the stages that they formerly occupied.
Yes.
Not that Green Bay isn't a big stage, but somehow McCarthy operated in the shadows of Aaron Rodgers.
Correct.
He just did.
He did.
I don't know how he got away with it, but Aaron was so great, especially during regular seasons and certainly during that road wild card run in which they had to win 3 road games to get to a Super Bowl in Dallas, Texas, ironically. And they pulled it off because they took him along for a great ride. Aaron took him along for a great ride. And the greatest thing he ever did was to challenge the Dez catch, which was a catch but got overturned. I don't know how. But the point was, I give Mike credit for that he gets none for in any game management situation that I've seen him thrust into in Dallas, Texas now. I don't get it because I don't even know what his job is. I don't know what he does. And Russ got exposed at the very highest level last year in ways he should have been exposed before. He was really just doing the same things he always did, but you kept making the case. This is Laker Nation, baby. This is LeBron James. This is Anthony Davis. This is Jeannie Buss. This is the Showtime legacy. You're on stage. You wanted this because you grew up a diehard Laker fan. You got it.
Exactly.
Your childhood dream just became your worst nightmare right here in Los Angeles, California. Congratulations, Russ. Well, Mike got his dream job coaching the Dallas Cowboys, and I don't know what he does. He's got to be the worst locker room motivator I've ever heard. It's almost like beyond comprehension, and he got exposed during Hard Knocks of a year ago. And now he says it's a media-driven narrative. No, it's the narrative of the whole Cowboy season. It's can they win in spite of Mike McCarthy? How long will Jerry suffer Mike? Because Mike's going to be the one taking all the slings and arrows. He'll be the scapegoat, obviously. Is Jerry sitting back chortling over all this because he thinks, I got me a great scapegoat here?
Yeah, but Skip, let me ask you this. The season starts for them, the training camp starts today. If he's feeling this kind of pressure right now, what happens if he loses 2 games back to back?
Lord have mercy.
That mean we ain't played a game? Y'all ain't got a practice yet. You hadn't had a team meeting yet, and this is how you're reacting to a possibility of being on the hot seat. Now you lose 2 games. Let's just say, and I'm not talking about losing to Tampa. I'm not talking about losing to the Rams. Lose to somebody you're supposed to beat. And what you think is about to happen there, Mike?
Yep. Last we saw Mike McCarthy, he sent a team out onto the field that was not ready to play a playoff game at home. Not ready. And what did he made some weird remark after the game about, I was watching them in their Bible study and they looked like they weren't ready. What?
Yeah.
What was that about? I don't know. It's just, it's crazy talk from a guy who's desperate, who's just clinging for dear life here. And what happened? His team wasn't ready to play at kickoff and basically got blown off the field because neither side of the ball was ready. Offense wasn't ready, defense wasn't ready.
Nope.
And that team ended up setting a franchise record for penalties in a playoff game. Doesn't that reflect on the head coach?
Yeah.
Above all?
But Skip, all the whatever you are, the playoffs, it exposes it. Skip, this team was the most penalized team in the season to begin with. And we overlooked it because they were winning. Oh, man, you making excuses about they won the game. Did we win the game, Shadow? Who cares about those 10 penalties? Did we win? Then all of a sudden you get 14, you lose, and now you got the gas face. Now all of a sudden, hold on, but no, what's the problem now? You see what happened if you correct those things. The same thing I said about Kansas City, those penalties, jumping off sides, doing all those dumb things, grabbing face masks, hands to the face. You get into a playoff game, those things come back and bite you.
They did. And then the franchise compounds it by going out and spending their first-round pick on the most penalized player in all of college football, Tyler Smith.
Match made in heaven.
University. It's perfect. And I hope he can play his tail off, and he's going to be the starting left guard, segueing to left tackle. Is he that dude?
You better hope so.
You just better hope so. You better hope that Mike McCarthy can just stay out of the way this year because they still have a core of talent. I still believe in their core of talent. I still believe CD is going to emerge and make you eat a little bit of, if not a lot of crow on Mondays here on this show.
He better.
I think he's going to be a true one, a top-tier wide receiver. I think he'll be, by the end of the year, in the top 10. Most people will rank. But I need to see that, and I need Mike to stay out of the way.
Well, how did I mean, you do realize he got to have to be more than the one because he got that as his head coach. So how do your offense overcome him?
It's not that easy because you end up having to motivate yourself.
Yes.
Dak is going to have to step up and take a leadership role he has not taken before because I think he's going to have to seize control of the entire franchise. He's healthy. He seems happy. He's got abs. He's lost his baby fat. This is a huge year for Dak Prescott just to seize control of the franchise and say, I got this. Because all the pregame speeches are going to have to come from number 4, not from that guy.
Yeah, but I remember y'all was going for it on 4th down. You like Mike McCarthy going for it on 4th down. You like the challenge. That's okay. I'm just going to sit right over here on my side, and he going to challenge one, and you going to say, Mike, what are you doing? I'm ready to drop the mic on Mike McCarthy because he has no idea. I give it about 5 weeks into the season.
Okay.
You gonna come back here?
I can't believe he's back, but he is.
Yes,
back.
you can. You know, Jerry.
And yet, I drank the metallic blue Kool-Aid when Jerry hired him. I thought, well, he's a made man. He's got a Super Bowl ring, thanks to Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
I'm no Aaron Rodgers fan, but I give him high marks, full credit for the creation of a Mike McCarthy who is now the bane of my existence in Dallas, Texas.
Get 5 weeks.
Way to go, Aaron. Thank you very much.
You're going to lose your mind in 5 weeks.
5 weeks?
5.
Well,
probably first game of the season after Tampa Bay beat the brakes off you.
Well, that's going to happen, but then it'll start to turn after that.
Thank you for watching. You can subscribe here to get the latest from the show, and be sure to check out more of the best clips from Undisputed, or go watch a few other segments from our other shows on FS1.